Welcome back. Let's jump right into this explainer and perform a really hyper-focused deconstruction of American culinary culture. We're going to look at a remarkably brief yet incredibly dense piece of text that describes the morning diet of an entire nation. The phrasing here is just fascinating. It masks some surprising narrative twists hidden within literally just 9 total words. So get comfortable, bring your appetite for knowledge, and let's dissect exactly what this text is telling us. Section 1. Introducing the source text. Let's take a look. So here is the body text in its entirety, just 5 words, breakfast favorite in the USA. Notice the definitive nature of this singular claim, right? There's no preamble, there's no one of the or arguably a. It's presented as an absolute fact. Grammatically speaking, it's a fragment, which actually gives it this punchy, undeniable authority, kind of like a label you'd find in a museum exhibit. And even crazier, notice how the text completely omits the actual name of the food. It acts almost like a riddle. It defines the object purely by its status. It's a favorite, it's for breakfast, and it's in the USA. That is a seriously bold way to present information.
All right, moving on to section 2, defining iconic and staple.
First up, let's look at the word iconic. When you label a food iconic, you're elevating it way beyond mere sustenance. You're saying it's a symbol. An icon represents a larger idea. So, an iconic breakfast food isn't just something you eat, it's something that represents the American ideal of the morning. It conjures up imagery of diners, early mornings, family tables, and cultural tradition. It really sets an incredibly high bar for whatever food item is going to be discussed. Following that elevated concept, the word staples reinforces this idea of foundational, essential items. A staple is the bedrock of a diet. It's reliable, it's consistent. But here's the crucial hook, that S at the end of the word. It's presented here in the plural form. The title promises us staples, a multitude, a full pantheon of breakfast options. It prepares our minds for a sweeping list, a really varied buffet of the foods that form the very foundation of the American morning. Section 3, the ultimate USA favorite. Let's see how this unfolds. Look at the linguistic shift happening right here. We just established the broad promise of multiple staples in the title, right? But the moment we step inside the body text, that broad view is funneled all the way down into a singular point. We go straight from the plural staples to the singular favorite. It's a total linguistic bait and switch, but a brilliantly effective one. By promising us everything and then delivering just one ultimate concept, the author makes that singular favorite feel infinitely more important. It implies that out of all the staples out there, one stands entirely above the rest. And the geographic scope anchoring this claim? The USA. Think about the sheer audacity and ambition of this anchor. We're talking about a massive, sprawling continent, over 330 million people spread across incredibly diverse regions, each with their own rich, distinct culinary traditions. I mean, what people eat for breakfast in a diner in New Jersey might be completely different from a breakfast in New Mexico or a morning meal in the Pacific Northwest. Yet this text boldly bypasses all that regional nuance. It draws a single line around the entire country and just declares that this singular favorite unites them all. By isolating the phrase breakfast favorite, we force our attention onto this ultimate, singular culinary claim that stands in for the entire plural category of staples. And it's really important to dwell on the word favorite. A staple is a practical word. It's about necessity and getting your calories in. But a favorite is an emotional word. It's entirely about preference, comfort, and joy. The text isn't just arguing that a specific food is widely consumed, it's arguing that it is universally loved. The entire weight of American breakfast culture has been distilled down by the author into this one unnamed emotional peak. Let's wrap things up with Section 4, Takeaways on American Breakfasts. Let's synthesize what this linguistic microanalysis is really telling us. These 3 key takeaways perfectly map out the journey. First, we saw how the title set the stage with a grand promise, plural staples that are iconic. Second, we observed that sharp structural pivot where the text delivers a singular, emotional favorite, completely abandoning the plural. And finally, we noted the incredibly ambitious scope, centering this entire claim on the vast, diverse landscape of the USA. The text literally acts as a funnel, pulling you from a broad cultural landscape down to one razor-sharp, undisputed point. The brilliant mystery of this whole thing is that it never actually names the food. It simply defines the space that the food occupies, leaving us with a fascinating blank to fill in. So how does a staple elevate to become the singular favorite? Is it convenience, comfort, sugar, protein, or maybe just pure nostalgia? What single item actually has the power to represent the entirety of the USA's morning routine? I want you to think about what fills in that blank for you, and realize just how much power lies in the simple, everyday words we use to describe our culture. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and remember to always keep questioning the details.